Alrighty.
Okay, well, welcome to the August meeting of the Northborough Historic District Commission. Let me start by going through the rules for the remote meeting. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to the extending certain COVID-19 measures, this meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. The order allows the Historic District Commission to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. All members of the Historic District Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so going to the Northborough Remote Meetings on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. This meeting will not feature public comment. Each vote taken this evening will be conducted by a roll call vote. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Leslie Harrison. Leslie?
Sorry, here.
Brian Swanson. Brian Swanson.
Here.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. Amanda's out. Millie Milton.
Here, I made it.
Yes, you did. Brian Smith.
Yes. I'm here.
Okay. All right, that takes care of that. So let's start with the prior minutes of the last meeting done by Brian. Any changes? I think we made some changes already.
I don't know what changes were already made, but I do think it would be helpful when we're talking about Brian in the notes to specify which Brian it might be, so a last name.
Okay. I've been trying to do that, but
And the other change was wherever there's chairman, we would change that to chair.
Okay. And if they're not members of the board, they would use like full names instead of just first name and initial.
okay.
Okay. So any other changes? No? Okay. So with those changes, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, Leslie? To vote?
Sorry, there's noise in the background, so I keep muting myself. Sorry. Aye.
Brian Swanson, to
Aye.
vote. Okay. Millie,
Aye.
Brian Smith,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Minutes pass, and do we, Brian, what I'll do is I'll send the corrected minutes out to everyone in the commission, and you send it to the clerk. Okay.
Okay. Questions, you or I?
Or do you just send it to everyone in the clerk?
I can do that.
Okay. Okay, so now the first agenda item on old business is we are nominating a new voting member. And The new voting member will be Tom Reardon, who has, I think, seniority as an alternate. So any comments about that? Or
Happy to have him.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah,
okay,
you.
and we'll take a vote. Oh, do we want to make a motion?
I move that we promote Tom from alternate to voting member. Tom Reardon.
Okay. Thank you. Second?
Second,
Okay. Okay, Leslie,
Aye.
Brian Swanson,
Yes,
Millie,
aye.
Brian Smith,
Aye.
and I vote aye. So congratulations, Tom is now a voting member for the
Thank
next
you.
round.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. I also wanted to clarify about the temporary chair. So according to the minutes and everything, that I am now temporary chair, and it looks like I will be chair until the next election in July, unless there's an impeachment. So I think maybe it might make sense just to make it official for the minutes that we vote on that again.
Thank you for offering to do that.
Okay, so can I have a motion to nominate me?
I make a motion to nominate Bob Like for chairman for Northborough Historic District Commission,
Okay,
chairperson.
second.
I'll second it.
Okay,
My first official act.
Yes.
This is a good one.
okay, let's vote. Leslie,
Aye.
Brian Swanson,
aye,
Millie,
Aye.
yes,
Brian Smith,
Aye.
Tom Reardon,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Okay,
Well done, Bob.
Mhm.
Yes.
thank you. Did you have any objections, Norm? Did you want to? Now's the
No,
time to speak up.
I have
Okay.
the highest confidence in your skills, Bob.
Okay, so the CPA project status. First thing is the Brigham Street Burial Ground, and the only thing I can report is that Norm and Leslie and I met with Scott Charpentier at the burial ground, and we marked off the areas where there are graves or known graves, because I guess they're going to come through with some sort of a machine raking device that's going to basically take off the topsoil and put new topsoil down. Correct. So there's now an area that they're going to do it by hand, so not disturb the stones. And we also walked around the land and marked all and noticed all the four barrier posts that are up there. Any other comments? Leslie, anything, or Norm?
Nope.
I drove by it a couple of days ago. It actually looks like they may have spread some loom on it. Or either that or that's what it looks like after they do the deep raking, but they certainly done some work
Nice.
out there.
There seems to be, by the way, we did have some comments from one of the neighbors driving by, because there was a lot of concern about whether they're going to build buildings there or houses or what they were going to do. So we explained that it's still a work in progress and they were going to turn it into a more of a parkland area.
She seemed pretty happy about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So the cemetery signs, I don't know if we have an update about that. The Kaiser signs, they're up. I think that's a done deal, right?
Yeah, it's a done deal, Bob. You can cross that off.
Okay. The library sign. So we have a final mock-up of the library sign. I'm not sure I don't think that's something we have to approve, but we should probably look at it and make sure there's no errors. So I was wondering if I could if I can share content here.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed there were two things as I didn't look super carefully, but there's definitely a period missing at the end. But also I was wondering if there should be more content in there. It seems pretty sparse.
Hmm,
Can you see my screen?
No,
not yet.
I noticed they left off the architect too.
you would notice that, wouldn't you, Tom? No, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I have never seen reference to the architect. You know that, Tom?
I believe he was from Worcester. I think his name was Stephen Earl, who worked for H.H. Richardson for many years. He's done several libraries, churches throughout Central Mass. It's
Hmm.
quite good.
It'd have to be, obviously, to put on the sign, it'd have to be confirmed.
Yeah, I have that information. I just don't have it at hand.
Oh, okay,
And the library has that information as well.
okay.
Can anyone see my screen yet?
No.
Not
No.
yet.
What am I doing wrong here?
The shared screen at the bottom,
I have a shared screen it says share content.
but it shares, if you scroll to the bottom, it should pull up a bar, a bunch of stuff.
I think he's on an iPad.
I'm on an iPad, so it's at the top.
So yeah, in the top right, it says share content, and then it should be like a little drop down, right?
Hmm.
And then
Wait a second,
screen.
wait a second.
I mean, I can show it too if that's easier.
Yeah.
I have it right here, so
Who's doing it? Leslie?
Happy to. You want me to do it?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah, go
Okay.
crazy.
Oh, it's wild and crazy. That's me. All right. Everybody see?
Coming. There it is.
Yes.
Mhm.
So the other thing that seemed a little odd, there's no reference to the expansion either.
Well, that doesn't involve the Gale family at all.
Mhm.
This is about the Gales in their.
Well, it's about the Gale Free Library. It's what the marker says. Just a comment.
Yeah, no, there's a couple comments. There's a few I have. Everybody's got a few, so.
I also believe the library was a memorial to Civil War veterans and deceased, which was part of the library movement of that era.
So I have a question on that, Tom. Would it be typical to have like almost 25 or 26 years between the contribution that was made and the actual dedication of a library?
Well, in this case, the start of the library, was a collection of books that was housed in, I believe, the town hall in Northborough. And this library movement that started in Massachusetts kind of gained momentum in the 1870s and 1880s. And I think that probably precipitated the Gale family making an additional donation of land and money to actually put up a building,
Okay.
which is inspired by the Boston Public Library that was completed in 1893 by McKim, Mead and White. So there's a lot of great history behind this beautiful little building.
Hmm.
Yeah, I went back and looked at some information I had compiled on the library, and Tom's right. Essentially, the first 10 grand was to start the library in the old town hall.
Oh, okay.
And that,
Okay.
when that was all grown, then the son, 30 years later, put the money in for the new construction and donated the land. But it's a good idea, Millie. See that.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff we could put on this, but I think the sign probably needs to be relatively brief,
Yeah.
so readable.
Yeah, but we have ones, our markers have a lot more information than this.
Yeah.
So it can accommodate more. It's just a thought. And also there should be a comma after, to get the really picky stuff, comma after 1894 and a period after 1895 at the end. And also should Gale, I don't know if Gale Library should be in quotes, if there's any reason for that to be quoted.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, so I would
Or
take
is it
those
in
out.
quotes?
And
I
the
don't see
free-
it in quotes. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So no quotes around free?
Oh, free, I'm,
no, he's talking the last sentence.
yeah, I was referring to, I mean, I was
Oh,
wanting to say
right.
anything about free, but definitely the Gale Library part. And Bob, did you get the comma after 1894 and then,
Yes, I did.
okay, great,
Yes.
the period at the end.
So we got 1894 comma and 1895 period and no quotes around Gale
Yeah.
Library.
And
Yeah.
wouldn't you say Gale Free Library on the bottom line as well to match the main title?
And I guess it depends on what they actually named it.
What's on the building? Somewhere I have a picture of the building.
Oh, I have photos of it. Let me, hold on.
I mean, it's called the Northborough Free Library now, but
Yeah, if we can find a picture of the building. I guess when you're sharing the screen, I can't access my files. Is that normal?
no, that's. I can stop sharing, but it shouldn't make a difference.
Huh.
The window that you're on or something like that.
The
Yeah,
view.
you're sharing, somehow you're sharing, I see your whole screen. I don't see my.
Yeah, because you have to change your view from full
Exit.
screen to,
Ah,
You
Yeah,
see what's in the,
Yeah, now it's the Northborough Free Library.
on the building?
Oh, on the building itself.
The main
Ah,
entrance.
that would be what it
front.
was when it was dedicated, right?
Yeah, okay, that's different. I don't have that picture.
Norm, are you able to get to your stuff or still not?
Found out where that changing the screen went. Okay,
Okay.
give me a second. I should be able to pull it up. It's gonna take a longer time than I thought.
looking through the preservation plan, I don't see a picture.
Yeah,
Oh, there is a picture in the preservation plan.
Any idea where?
Yeah, it's for one of the chapters, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's the beginning of chapter 2, chapter 3. And it says Gale Library Building. That's what's etched on the overhead, the main door. Gale Library Building.
oh, so it does have that on the photo.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it doesn't say anything about free or anything like that. It's just called the Gale Library Building on the building itself. What I would recommend at this point, let's see if I can get back to where, here we go. I think, Millie, you had some comment, or you had one comment. I had a few comments. I think that my recommendation is getting back to the library director, Jennifer, and have her join the next meeting. That might be the best bet. You know,
That's
Bob,
good. Yeah, that's
Bob
a
or
good-
I can send the comments. And I think they can incorporate some or not. I mean, it's really, I think, their call, but I think they could, you're right, Leslie, they can beef up some of the verbiage about the building. And with the stuff that Tom knows, it would be a nice couple.
I think, I agree. To have some of that in there, I think make it that much more interesting.
Would it
Yeah,
make
so
sense?
What we're saying is the architectural stuff and the expansion. If we had a choice between one or the other, I would say the architectural is
Mhm.
more interesting historically. But it's also nice when you're looking at a historic building to say, oh, wait, that's not, when did this get expanded or, whatever. So, yeah, I like the idea of getting Jen here.
I'm wondering, rather than wait till the next meeting, would someone want to draft the extra sentence or so? Send it to her, and then we could discuss it at the next meeting. That way we will save time by not debating. Well, this way she could say it's too long as it is, or she could add the extra sentence. We could simply make the original corrections now. But if we want to add text to it, maybe we could draft it between now and the next meeting.
Yeah, it's a good idea to have it to review. Tom, would you be able to do that because you have the architectural?
So you just want to put architect Stephen Earl, that's somewhere at the bottom.
Whatever you think would make sense, you know, even a little background if it was related to, I mean, any ties to other areas, I think, especially if it's, you know, related to the Boston Public Library or something more prestigious, I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I
And then,
do.
yeah, there could be a sentence about when the expansion,
Right. Well, it is part of the library movement, which was resulted in hundreds of libraries in New England.
I think that's interesting, but
And many of them were, as I said, dedicated to Civil War.
Yeah,
But I'll let me confirm those pieces and then get it to you.
how many words, Norm, do you know? I don't have a list of all the markers, but do you have the drafts of all of them where we could find out the number of words we had in like the longest one, just so we know what we're working from?
Yeah, just looking at this, well, this one's different. It's got the 2 photographs.
right.
But I'd say the longest one is at least twice as much wording.
Okay, because we always have photographs at the bottom.
No,
That's
some of the early ones did not. Some of the early ones didn't.
Oh, they did? Oh, okay.
No. So there's room for a sentence or 2 for sure. And
Whose final decision is this? Is this Jennifer's?
well, it's the trustees, board of directors. I'm trying to remember how they're organized. The library's organized. So
Okay,
it's not-
so
it would not be Jennifer's. It would be the board of trustees.
our commission is just making recommendations. We're not approving it.
Well, we're reviewing it like we're doing tonight to make sure we could be,
Okay.
could be some additional information or some grammatical errors, that kind of thing.
Well, then I suggest that I get back to Jennifer with the original change, these changes about the periods and commas, and then say that we're adding some text for her to review.
Okay.
Okay, and then,
I would recommend doing it at one time, not 2. So wait.
okay,
And I've been communicating with her on this already, so I don't mind being the middleman on this one.
okay,
So just send me what your recommendations are, Tom, and the edits. It's easy, I think just, you know, of course, Bob, I'll keep you in the loop. But I also had some comments too. Let's see. And it's all regarding the images. So it looks like in the new version they sent out, they used the original image of Cyrus Gale Jr. that I sent, which is a low quality image. And I sent her recently a high quality image, and I can tell that that's not the one they used. The high quality image is the one that they used for Captain Gale. So I want that image changing, and the 2 images are different colors. And I don't know how they would be coming out in terms of how they make this. I don't know if that's going to show up as being different on the
Yeah, I was
plaque.
wondering about that too, because if it's on the bronze background, it may not.
It may not, but I, you know, and that's just a matter of taking Photoshop and tweaking it a little bit and getting it all black and white or something. And I don't,
You know where they're proposing to place the sign, Norm?
no, not yet. I think there's 2 options. You know, one is on the street where we've been putting them, you know, on Main Street. But the better visibility would certainly be by the main entrance, by the parking lot. So I thought that would be their call.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it applying it to the exterior wall of the existing library unless you put it in, there's a 4-foot recess around the front door, but if you put it in there, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah, and we've never, every sign we've ever put up has been on a post.
Okay, it'd be a freestanding,
Yeah, freestanding. So
makes sense.
I don't mind being the communicator with Jennifer. In fact, you know, She can also watch this video. so.
Mhm.
Okay,
Like-
well, well, I don't think we need to vote or anything. So our action item would be that Tom is going to add some verbiage, tell us where to add it, and you're going to communicate that to Jennifer. Okay, good. All right. Next item is the historic markers for the Westboro State Hospital Chauncey Hall area.
Well, Bob,
And-
if you don't mind me cutting you off, I'm
Yep.
sorry, but there was one other CPA funded project that I wanted to update everybody on. And that's putting the Howard Street Cemetery on the National Register. Just to document that I contacted Lisa, I get her name proper.
Right. You're right. I forgot. I did have that down
Okay, because it's a CPA funded project. That's why I wanted to
here. Right.
keep it in line. So that was Lisa, Mausolf. She's the one who prepared the document. It was submitted a year ago, June. And I contacted to just say what's up. And the fact is that Mass Historical Commission hasn't got back to her yet. And this is typical. This is a typical time frame. So no news, no update.
And you were going to contact Ben Haley, right?
No, I was not going to contact Ben Haley. I want to contact Ben Haley for my home, which is now 2 years behind schedule. So
Okay.
I don't, if one of you guys want to contact Ben Haley and ask, what
Okay.
timing, because I'm going to fight for my house before I fight for the cemetery.
Okay. So she's suggesting that someone contact Ben Haley to get the status. Okay. I'll do that.
He's a nice
Yeah.
guy. I worked with him when doing my home. He was very helpful.
Yeah, I'm looking quickly at the images of the online images of the library, just Google Images. And it says 1868, 1894 on either side, and then Gale Library Building across the front.
Okay. So we'll leave it at Gale Library then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, Bob, I want to make sure I understand. So right now, the version for the title is the Gale Free Library. You want to?
No.
No.
The free is in
It's on the
quotes.
title.
It's in the current title, but it's not in the,
Oh, right. So,
it should just be Gale Library, right? Isn't that what we were confirming? It's the Northborough Free Library now, but it's the name of the
So-
library, and it's right across the top says Gale.
No, I
Library.
understand that. What is the main heading we're going to have on the sign? I want to make sure that that's clear.
Oh, by the way, if you look at Owen's, the seal is right there. We're looking right at it. It says Gale Library.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's funny.
Just noticed that. Oh, because it says Gale Free Library at the top. That's true. Maybe it should say Northborough Free Library because that's what it is now, and it should have the history.
Nah, it's the Gale Library. It's not the Northborough. The whole purpose of the sign is focused on the Gale's donation to the library.
Okay, then I would say take free out because it's not the name of it, but that's up to the library, I guess.
Well, if you look at our draft, we asked them to put it in.
I think the free comes from the dedication ceremony in 1895, 96. I think they reference it as the Gale Free Library, but I think we probably need to follow up on that.
Okay. Okay. We'll follow up. Again, that's probably their best call.
okay. Okay, so moving along the Chauncey Hall historic markers. To date, I sent them pictures of the existing markers around Chauncey Lake so they wouldn't duplicate some of the information. They were working on a marker for the Chauncey Hall dormitory farm community, and a second marker was going to be for the Native American Trail. And Norm did send them, contacted the Northborough Historic Society for information, which you forwarded to them, correct?
Yeah, there wasn't much in this, actually, they didn't have much to offer. the
Okay.
Society.
All right, so anyway, there's a follow-up meeting on the 25th that I will be attending and Norm will be attending. And I believe that's just to look at the final mock-up.
Yeah, they're calling it final, but it sounds to me more like it's a working draft.
Okay. And yeah, we'll have input into the farm community. But I think that group Heritage that's working on this, I think they're pretty competent. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. And one thing I will like to push for is, because the 2 markers are going to be off the road by the parking lot of the model airplane field, I would like to push for a 3rd marker at the right on Lyman Street that says historic markers ahead or something along those lines. Anything else on that, Norm?
No, I'm looking to see what they present next week.
Yeah, 25th. Okay. On the agenda, we have small projects. I think Amanda presented what she had sent about Proctor School last time. So I think that project's done. I don't know if there's anything else at this point.
She actually was the next step and had
Yeah.
it.
I had a
So,
small project dealing with Northborough, England.
Oh, right, yes.
So I contacted the clerk of Northborough Parish, and she put me in contact with Gail Richardson, who's the Northborough, England kind of town historian. And I sent her a brief outline of how Northborough, Marlborough begat Westborough begat Northborough. And I sent the 38 family names from Josiah Coleman Kent's book from 1921, kind of the founding families of Northborough, Mass. And Gail Richardson went through them all, and she said there were some common names, but she couldn't find any direct links between immigrants from Northborough, England to Northborough, Mass. But she did locate 3 Northborough, England residents that did migrate to the US. So one went to, or the Americas, one went to Barbados, one went to Delaware, one went to Pennsylvania. And these were all in the late 1600s. And discussing how the name Northborough might have originated, our guess is it was probably a geographic convenience. So starting with Marlborough, you break away, you have a town that's south to west and to north. That's probably how the name of Northborough arose, because so far we haven't found any direct links between the residents of Northborough, England or Northborough, Mass. So that's as
And-
far as I've gotten.
What about the name of Northborough, UK? Was that geographical also?
Well, that dates back, to the 1400s. There's a Lord of Northborough. I don't know whether he was related to Lord Marlborough. So I haven't gone back that far.
If he lived south of Lord Marlborough, maybe?
Actually, Northborough was north of Peterborough, England. A lot of boroughs.
Okay.
This is all north of Cambridge.
Hmm.
do you know if there's any way we could formalize what do they do when you have another nation's town?
Sister city or something.
Thank you, Tom.
Hmm.
Is there a way of formalizing a sister city? I don't know how that gets done, if we just do it or if there's some
Well, we could-
procedure that has to
I
be
could-
followed.
Write to them and say, would you entertain this and vote it through at your town council, and we would vote it through at our town meeting, or however it's done. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what the
I-
mechanism is.
It'd be a curious thing to do, it'd be kind of interesting.
Maybe we should have an exchange program. Like I could send myself over.
Maybe Yeah, don't we have?
You've
some
already
funds
been
for
there. It has to
that?
be somebody else.
I think we have funds for that, don't we?
Yes. but
Yeah, we got
everyone-
$50. I mean, that'll get me a train ride from
Send
London
a
to
buddy.
Northborough.
Hmm. We can just pretend we have accents. Does that count?
We do have accents. from
Yeah,
their-
we
from
do.
their
No,
perspective.
no, they
Maybe I
do.
could thatch my roof and here on Sunset Drive and say, we're recreating Northborough, England.
Hmm.
Okay, anything else on small projects? Thank you, Tom. That was
Mhm.
really fascinating.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah, that is, thank you.
Okay, so and just a quick update, we see Norm and Leslie and myself met with the representatives of Westboro Historic District Commission and the Westboro Historical Society. They were interested in where we got our markers done, historic markers, and Norm gave a good overview of the 3 types of signs that we use. We did a little walking tour of the downtown area, looking at some of the signs. I don't know if there's any follow-up for that. I think they were satisfied in what they learned. We gave them some recommendations for who would do the signs and gave them examples. They took pictures. So that was a good outreach. Okay, the next item is the Apple Fest. So Amanda contacted someone from the Northborough Historical Society.
Probably Mike DeShino.
Ken. No, Ken.
Oh, Ken Bennett.
Ken Bennett, right. And I contacted Ken Bennett also, said that we would discuss it at the meeting today and follow up. I think what makes the most sense at this late a time and the fact that we basically don't have, we'd have to get the booth material together. They're claiming that they have basically a double booth and they'd be willing to give us some space. And I think all we really need is a little corner of a table for our brochures. And I think it would be a good idea to have some people from the commission there at all times so that we can basically explain the similarities and differences between the commission and the society and how we work together. So does that sound like a plan as opposed to, well, either not doing anything or having a booth?
What was Ken's response?
Well, they're willing to let us the space. They said, fine, they got plenty of space. And I wrote back to them and said, I don't think we need much space. We just want to be around and participate and hand out brochures. Now, Norm, you have brochures in the office area?
Yeah, we have hundreds of them. They're a
Okay.
little outdated. That's another project that was put on the wish list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something to do. So I can pick up the brochures, and the only question now is, can we have volunteers to be there? Now, I've got a conflict that day for the midday. Now, I looked online, and it doesn't look like there's any time set up yet for the Blake Street display.
Usually 9 to 3.
But last year was 9 to 4, I believe.
Okay, maybe 4 then. Yeah, I wasn't there last year, but I thought it was 9 to, yeah, that makes sense. 9 to 3 or 4.
I think it was 9 to 4. So I can be there between 9 and 10 and between maybe 2:30 and 4.
What is the actual date on that? I don't remember.
It's the Saturday.
Yeah, it is the 9th.
Is it the 9th?
Yes, Saturday the 9th.
Yeah, you're right. It's 9 to 4. Just looking at the schedule now.
I don't think I can do
Does
it.
it say, do you have the schedule for this year?
It's Applefest 2023, but then
When I looked, it said 2022.
the logo says 2023, but if I click on the schedule, It says September 9th, Saturday, September 9th, so that must be this year.
Hmm.
Okay, then it must,
Street fair 9 to 4, yeah.
9 to 4, okay.
I was thinking it was 6 hours, but
Hmm.
All right, any discussion? Does that sound like a good idea if for
It
anyone
does,
that's
unfor-
around to stand by the booth and participate
yeah,
that way?
unfortunately, I can't. Rotary runs the Apple Fest, so
Mhm.
runs the street fair. So I'm gonna need to be on the Rotary side for that
Mhm.
day.
Mm.
So unfortunately, I can't help. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, again, I can be there 9 to 10 and maybe 2:30 to 4. So if it's better than nothing, if there's anyone else can be there between those other times,
Right
You-
now, I already volunteered to do something with the Historical Museum, so I'm kind of locked up some of the day with that. I'd have to check my schedule and see.
I won't, won't be around.
okay. Well, if there's no one else, I think,
I'd like,
Brian,
I can say I could probably do like 1 to 2:30.
perfect, okay. Yeah, I don't think we have to have 100% coverage. I think it's just worthwhile to, get some interesting people there. A lot of times, new homeowners. I know last year, new homeowners came over that had bought some historic property and they were interested in what we did.
Hmm.
Okay,
Just Bob, there's on top of the cabinets in Town Hall is a box that says Apple Fest. And that box has the many brochures and the holders for the brochures and maybe a few other things that might be handy to have on the table.
on top of the cabinet?
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll get that and whatever's, and I'll leave everything there for Brian. I mean, there's probably not going to be too much traffic through there, but it's always, I think it's always good to keep up good relations with the Historic Society.
Yeah, and
Is
that's
this,
the
uh,
beauty of
fun
not
to
having a
have-
booth is we don't have to have 100% coverage. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't think so. And because the booth is going to be manned by them.
Right, exactly.
Do you have
Um,
anything that has like the books that have been written about Northborough? You guys ever have those there at that booth?
No, I would assume the Historic Society would have that. I could bring my books.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Okay, yeah, I can bring those.
If somebody has a hard copy of the preservation plan, it might be handy.
Hmm,
I have that.
yeah.
Is that for a to hold down the tent?
Hopefully, yeah, in a pinch, it might help.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't think this is something we needs a vote. Anyone disagree? Do we?
We vote on whether we have to vote?
No.
I agree.
So, okay, so we're all in agreement. Not something we vote on. Okay. Okay. All right, and we already covered the. Oh, okay. I got ahead of myself. We already covered the Westboro Historical Commission and Historical Society meeting on the markers.
Mhm.
The next item under new business is something that I don't think we want to cover now, but I wanted to bring it up. What I'd like to do is have everyone, and by the way, the Historic Preservation Plan is on the website.
Yes,
I would like everyone before the next meeting to look over Chapter 7, which is basically goals and objectives. And I think it's worthwhile that maybe at the next meeting, we can just review it briefly and look for some low-hanging fruit projects that we might want to tackle.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your homework assignment.
I love it.
And all right, committee representatives update. So the master plan implementation,
There hasn't been a meeting since our last meeting. The next meeting is scheduled for September 21st.
okay. CPC, Leslie,
On hiatus until the next round of applications comes.
okay. And I don't think there's anything else to this, there's no other committees, right?
Did I
No.
miss something, Norm?
Well, the only question I had is, if you wait, if there's a group that wants, to petition for CPA funding, then you really need to start sooner than later, because when they want the applications in, you need to have all the information in line. So it's kind of, you can't really wait until they say, we're ready to accept applications. If you do that, you're almost too late. So I guess the heads up I wanted to give is that if there is interest for anybody for CPA funding, you kind of need to start thinking about it between now and the next 2 months. Because getting quotes for stuff and everything, it's, anyway, just, so Leslie, when do they usually start accepting the applications? Isn't
It's
it
usually November. I missed the last meeting, so I'm not sure. But I think it's usually in November timeframe.
So, yeah, that's kind of my heads up, because they've moved everything up quickly now. They're trying to make decisions in
Mm,
February, I think, if I remember, rather than March. So anyway, you have a project that needs input from vendors and the like, it's not too late to start. It's not too early to start now.
right.
So can we afford to wait till the next meeting to review?
Oh, I think so, yeah. I'm just
Okay,
saying
so
that could be the mindset when you go into the meeting. Is
So
there
that's-
something we should be doing?
that's fitting then with Bob's homework assignment, is that we review that and then come up with anything we want to propose for a CPA project.
How about a field trip to Northborough, England?
Sounds good.
What I was thinking.
Gee. Fact finding.
I'm sure they'd fund that, no problem.
I think the town would have enough money to at least send a chair over there, don't you think?
A chair or the chair?
The
Oh.
And now we know why you wanted to be committed. Now that's it.
Okay, so that's another action item for next time. And okay, for other just conflict of interest training that we have to do. I did it. I passed in flying colors. So just a reminder. The other point I wanted to make is we need to think about getting new members, at least as an alternate. So if anyone has any candidates, think about that. Let me know, and feel free to ask anyone that might want to volunteer.
Is there something we should have available at Applefest to promote that?
Sure.
Well, the
Yeah.
brochures is that's part of the brochures.
Good idea.
It is it?
Well, they want to learn about it, tickle their interest.
Okay, that'll be something for Brian and I to discuss. Also, I think I haven't spoken to Amanda, but I'll see if she's available to take some of the time at Applefest. Okay. Anything else? The next meeting, if we have it by Zoom, is scheduled for Wednesday, the 20th of September.
Which would be after Applefest by 2 weeks.
Right. That's okay. I mean, so I assume everyone is still interested in doing a Zoom meeting? Any objections to that?
Good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we will have the next meeting on September 20th. Is there a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
or do we have to wait 4 minutes?
I'll
don't think we
second
do.
the move.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, great seeing everybody. Have a good rest of the
too.
summer.
I think we have to
Thank
vote.
you.
don't- We have to vote, don't we? On
Yeah, but
sure,
that's
adjourn?
not,
yeah.
that doesn't include me.
Okay.
Bye,
Norm.
Norm.
Bye, Norm.
Good night, Norm.
Good night.
Okay, Leslie,
Yes.
Brian Swanson. Brian Swanson.
We're voting to adjourn, Brian.
Yep.
Okay. Millie,
Yes.
Brian Smith,
Yes.
Tom Reardon,
Yes.
and I vote aye. Okay, well, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Bob.
See
Doing a
you
great
next
job as
week,
our-
or
as
see